We're joined by Republican Conference Chairman Jeb Hensarling of Texas. Mr. Hensarling, as always, it's great to see you, sir. Let me just ask you, we've gotten some early reports of the speech. There's a lot of talk about class warfare and taxing the rich. What happens if President Obama says, you, the House Republicans, constitute a do-nothing Congress? I don't know that that's in the script. It could be. What would your response be to that kind of charge?
Well, first, we know the president has gone from being commander-in-chief to being campaigner-in-chief. Listen, this is a president, Larry, who cannot run on his record. I mean, let's face it, we passed his stimulus plan, his health care plan, Dodd-Frank, all of which he said would bring us economic growth and jobs, and instead almost 2 million more Americans have lost their jobs, and we have the greatest period of sustained high unemployment since the Great Depression. So I tell you what, if he says do nothing, I don't want to do any more of what he has done. Meanwhile, House Republicans, well, we have a plan for America's job creators. We have over 27 jobs bills that are now stacked up like cordwood in the United States Senate. But the president and Senator Harry Reid won't move them. And so since the president, Larry, can't run on his record, unfortunately, regrettably, he's going to the politics of envy, the politics of division. And listen, they're legitimate fairness questions, but what I don't understand is why then the president he's against fundamental tax reform. Democrats voted against it in the super committee. He attacked our budget written by Congressman Paul Ryan. We had it there. It's not a matter of taxing some Americans more. It's subsidizing them less.
We almost had a deal on Simpson Bowles going back a year. We almost had a larger deal on the super committee with spending cuts and tax reform, Jeb. Are those deals dead for the upcoming year, and is it going to be gridlock?
You know, Larry, hope springs eternal here, but I haven't been encouraged by what I've seen. As you know, I co-chaired the so-called super committee, and unfortunately, we made a great sacrifice. We made a great compromise. Through fundamental tax reform, we were still willing to put $250 billion of so-called static revenue on the table. The Democrats would never embrace it. Frankly, they never were willing to do fundamental entitlement reform to save us from bankruptcy, to sustain our retirement and health care program for future generations, and they always wanted a $1 trillion tax increase. And Larry, as you know, this whole tax increase talk, not only is it bad for the economy, it's diversionary. Give the president every tax increase he wants, and it's about 15–16% of the debt that he's going to add to our economy in the next 10 years. It's a diversion from his record that he can't run on, and that's what's not fair, is what's happening to the American people. When 1 in 7 are on food stamps, when half of America is either low income or in poverty, that's the true fairness question.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Congressman Jeb Hensarling from Texas. We appreciate it, as always, sir. A programming note for tomorrow night, by the way. This is huge. Tomorrow